Welcome back to Wake Up America Weekend. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky met with President Trump in Washington on Friday. That's just one day after a phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And during that phone call, the president announced plans for an upcoming meeting with Putin in Budapest.
Yeah, for more on this, let's welcome in Senior Advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, Colonel Mark Cancian, as well as former Trump National Security Council Chief of Staff Fred Fleitz. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
So, Colonel, we know Zelensky says he's willing to meet with President Trump and said that there will be talks in Budapest. As the president mentioned, the two sides could be coming together very soon in the next couple of weeks. But in your opinion, are we any closer to getting a productive meeting about ending this war, which President Trump has been very clear about?
Well, we all hope that this meeting will open up more serious negotiations leading to a ceasefire. But the indications are not very encouraging. Putin thinks he's winning the war. He thinks that time is on his side, that the United States and Europe will tire of the war. He's making demands for more territory, and he's trying to make a side deal with the United States for better relations while ignoring the war in Ukraine. So the indications are not encouraging.
Not encouraging.
But Fred, President Trump spoke with Putin on Thursday, and it sounds like that talk was productive. Take a listen.
Well, I think that President Putin wants to end the war, or I wouldn't be talking this way. I think he wants to end the war. I spoke to him yesterday for 2.5 hours. We went through a lot of details. He wants to get it ended. I think that President Zelensky wants to get it ended. Now we have to get it done.
So, Trump is not agreeing to provide Tomahawk missiles. It's likely there will be some concessions needed from each side for a meeting to even happen. What would you encourage Zelensky to offer up to start meaningful negotiations, Fred?
First of all, it's good that they're talking. I'm also pessimistic based on things I've heard the Russians say. They want territory the Ukraine is not going to give up. I think Trump's decision not to provide these Tomahawk missiles is a temporary decision, that if these meetings are done, the high-level meetings, the summit, and the Russians accelerate the war again, I think Trump's patience will run out. He will provide these weapons. I think there's things that Zelensky's probably going to agree to, maybe not contest Russian sovereignty over Crimea. He's not going to agree to it, but he's not going to contest it. I think he probably will have to agree not to pursue NATO membership for maybe a period of time, 10, 25 years. That's also not an issue because several nations in NATO would veto that. But I think that what Trump has to do is to get Putin to make the decision to stop the war. That's the focus here. And he made an interesting statement. Let both sides declare victory. I know that sort of sounds ridiculous, letting the Russians declare victory, but Trump has to be a neutral mediator who can make the case to Putin to do this. And, you know, peacemaking is hard. There may be several rounds of talks like this to get it done.
No. Isn't that real wisdom, though, for Trump to say, let both sides declare victory?
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. You know, that's why he's the art of the deal, you know, the art master negotiator. But, Colonel, as we mentioned, the president clearly wants to make progress here. But what indications do we have that Putin is even ready? What glimmers of hope do you think that we've got that we can indicate that, you know, Putin may be ready to come to the table at this point?
Well, the fact that they had a productive phone call is encouraging. But we have to keep in mind that they had a productive phone call before the last meeting in August in Alaska, and that went nowhere. And Putin is a former spy master. He tends to tell people what they want to hear and then walks away. So we're going to have to see something pretty tangible from Putin and Russia to really be encouraged that we're moving towards negotiations and that this isn't just another temporizing step by Russia to buy time.
And we'll have to know more about what's happening to Putin domestically, what his political fortunes are inside Russia. Mark Cancian, Fred Fleitz, thank you both very much.
Thanks, guys.
Up next, enrolling in Medicare is a tricky process. Our next guest